This is a video for all those attorneys out there that are maybe looking to make a change in their job, right? They're working for a place and you think, that's all right, but I think I want to go somewhere else. I want to find a better law firm. I want to get a different situation, one where I can succeed and I know that I'm going to be able to succeed in the long term. Now, my name is Marco Brown. For those of you who don't know me, I own Brown Family Law in Salt Lake City, and we specialize in divorce and family law. It's all we do. It's all we'll ever do because we're going to do it and be better than everybody else at it. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a story. So I've been reminiscing the last couple days as we're like completely over the COVID thing now about the beginning of COVID actually. So it is the end of February, the beginning of March in 2020. And I go to Italy a lot. It's where I served my Mormon mission. I lived there when I was younger. I love it. I love it. So I go back because it's my happy place, okay? So we're there on spring break because my son gets a really long spring break at his school. So we're there in Sicily during spring break, end of February, beginning of March 2020. You can imagine that things did not go well. I mean, we kind of sort of heard about COVID, but none of us really knew what was going on. And then we get over there and it just starts breaking and breaking really, really bad. Okay, so we had to scramble the last couple of days. And we're in Sicily. This is not like a major metropolitan area of Italy, okay? So we're in Sicily and we had to try to figure out what was going on because we were hearing that they may shut down the country completely. So I was making calls, I was doing what I needed to. We ended up getting out 2 days early, okay? We get to Rome, thankfully. They were very, very kind about it. They're very accommodating to us. And in Rome, things were starting to go bad. Like people were starting to get really upset in the airport. You could kind of tell that everybody's really stressed and really scared. And thankfully we got on a flight. So we get on a flight to JFK. We're able to get back to Salt Lake. We didn't know this until we were across the Atlantic, halfway across the Atlantic is when they told us that this was the last flight out of Italy and pretty much out of Europe back to the United States. I had no idea. And I think it was like a year before the United States allowed flights from Italy to come into the United States again. So this was the last of the last. And I remember I was putting together all these contingencies in my head in case we didn't get out on the plane. Like, how are we going to do this? Could we take a boat to Albania and get out? Like, I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff. But thankfully, we got the flight. We get home. But then my wife and I are left with some very serious questions about what to do at this point because we're scared. We're quarantining. And this is before the quarantine in the United States. We quarantined for 2 weeks and then we're forced quarantine for another 2 weeks. So we literally stayed in our house for a month at that point. And we had a lot of time to think, but Demery and I are just scared out of our minds. Like, what are we gonna do about the law firm? Because everything's shut down, no one's coming in. We didn't know if we were gonna have to lay people off. We were gonna have to literally fire attorneys, fire staff members, whatever. Like, we had no idea. So what we did is very quickly, we just accepted the situation as it was, okay? We got through all the stages of grief, whatever, and we just accepted everything. And we said, how are we gonna deal with the reality that we have right now? And what we came up with is, hey, look, I don't wanna fire anybody. My team is really super important to me, and I don't wanna have to fire anybody at all. So we didn't take money for months. No income, no nothing to our family to ensure that we were able to pay all of our vendors and we're able to pay all of our team, okay? The team first, the vendor second, but I never skip on my vendors anyway, like everybody gets paid here. So that's what we did. We literally lived on the money that we had saved in our safe at home, okay? So we had saved up some money, some actual cash. We lived on that cash for months and we never had to lay anybody off. In fact, during this period of time, I think somebody quit and we had to hire people who were actually expanding during this period, oddly enough. And then when things started to open back up, people started figuring out they didn't like each other and our numbers, thankfully, unfortunately, but thankfully, went up, okay? So at that point, and then I wanted to make sure that wasn't just a blip. So we stuck with it for a little while, again, not taking any income for us or our family. And until we were satisfied that we were going to be able to weather the storm and come out better on the other side. And then we started taking money for our family again. But this entire time, we prioritized our team and paying our team and doing what was right by them, and then paying our vendors, okay, and putting us on the back burner. And then we started paying us again. Never took a dime in PPP money. Never. It would never even crossed my mind, okay? And now looking back, I kind of wonder if I shouldn't have. It was easy money, right? But I decided in the moment, nope, we are absolutely not going to do that. We're not going to rely on the government. We're not going to do that sort of thing. We've planned for these sorts of contingencies in the past. We have a nest egg. We have an emergency fund, so we can do this. We're going to cut it to the bone and not rely on Uncle Sam, where we can rely on ourselves and our team to get us through this. And that's what we're able to do, okay? So why do I tell you this? It's because when you're looking for a place that you want to go to, okay? When you're looking for a new opportunity, do you want to go to the place that took a whole bunch of PPP money and didn't have a plan, had to rely on the government and do all these crazy things because they didn't do what they were supposed to, essentially? Do you want to be at that sort of place where you have to worry about your job when crap hits the fan? Or do you want to work for a place that has contingency plans, that already weathered this type of storm, that weathered COVID, okay, and came out significantly better? I think we've doubled or more than doubled our revenues since COVID began, never taking a dime in PPP money, okay? Because we were well positioned before this, and then we just increased our market share after that, right? And again, did it without a single government dollar, okay? That's the kind of place you want to work. You want to work in a place like that, a place that puts you as the priority, that makes sure that you are paid before the owner and his family gets paid, because the owner cares about you enough to actually do that. That's what we did. If that interests you, then give me a call. We're always looking for A players, people who are going to serve our clients exceptionally well, people who are going to treat our team, our paralegals exceptionally well. We want those types of people. If that is you and this interests you, call me, 801-685-9999, or message me, okay, on LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. I'll get back to you. We will get together. We will talk. We want A players. If you're an A player, let's talk through things.